All right, I'm wanting to put this water pump down for keeps. So I'm in the process of gasket making. I have to make 2 gaskets, kind of custom now. One for between here and the adapter plate, and one from the adapter plate to the pump. So that's what I'm working on. And I guess we'll continue this adventure right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rouse the Oliver Man. 1250 gas. And we are plugging along, making progress. People are leaving comments, not realizing that most of these videos have been filmed ahead of time. So, yeah. By the time you saw the first video on this, tearing into it, I'm already to this point right here. So your comments are nice to read, but pretty well, yeah, suggestions at this point are too late because it's already been done. But when this fails, I can use them on the second go round because I'm sure we'll get there. A lot of people commented about that there's water pumps all over the internet for this, and once again, there are not. The diesel and gas are 2 different motors, so not going to happen. Other people said, why are you even fooling with this engine? Put a different engine in. Well, then it's not what it was. And the point of history is keeping it what it was as close as we can. So that's going to happen. Also, it runs excellent. So why would we take that out? Yeah. Another comment someone made was, with the way they had that governor, doesn't that run backwards? Yes, it does, but it still worked. So the governor part of it works, whether or not that's running backwards. So we'll cross that road when we get there. Like I said, I want to get water pump mounted up first, and then we will go there. I did end up getting this fan shaved down where it'll spin in here. So the only thing I got to do there is get an adapter made spacer. That's what I'm saying. I could not find a 3-hole spacer on the internet that would do what I want. So I'll have somebody turn me one out of aluminum, and then that situation will be done. But we got a couple more holes to punch on this, and then probably more holes, but let's just continue on our way. It proved to be a real trick to let me punch this hole and then we'll talk. It proved to be a real trick to get all those bolt holes lined up when I was making that steel plate, and I kind of wish I had made the gasket first, because I think that would have solved some of my issue. Let's see how the fit is here. It's not looking like I did a very good job. I could probably cut that out a little more. I mean, it'll go through there, but yeah. I'm fine-tuning. And I know it's windy again, but as previously stated, I prefer being comfortable as opposed to, yeah. I'm going to just use the punch and make this hole a little bit more this way because I kind of missed it slightly. But we need to go to our, I think we need to go to our plate now. And we need to hold it the right way. But basically, yeah. Yeah, see, our steel plate, the holes are off by just a little bit. But it does work because I had it on there. I think if I use my little gasket punch here, me go punch this out and I'll show you what I'm thinking. Alright. Let's trim this up a little bit. There we go. Alright. Alright, that gasket I made there should be good for going between the block and this plate. Because I've had this plate on there, it does fit. It looks kind of goofy. But the handmade one is the prototype, you know? And the prototypes aren't always as refined as the final version. Now for these, back here, it would be cool if that would come loose by hand, because that's how I put it in there. I need to cut us a gasket for between the plate and here. And for that, I think we can just take this plate off and just use the plate. Have that. Now, I'm thinking out loud of how this is going to go. And basically, all I need is, I'm wondering if I need to cut one for between the plate and the pump, or if I should just use Permatex. That's the way it was. It didn't have a gasket between there, but if we go too much, we're gonna have too much thickness, and that won't work either. Cut our shape. That's our next order. Probably cool if I let you in on what was happening. You're gonna get sick of FIAT projects before too long, but such is life. I want to get this where it'll move under its own power so I can get it out of my way. Move it around much easier than I did to try to get it in here. There. Now, I really need my deal back. Time to go punch some more holes. Doog. Okay. Again, gotta trim this a little bit. Guess you really don't have to, but I kind of would like to do that thing. Nice. I'm just worried if I get too many gaskets, we're gonna have a thickness problem. Now, you can see my very oddly shaped water path here. I actually opened this pump up a little bit more, which may or may not be a good thing. But I had to get the water from up here into this cavity, and I was only gonna have like that much if I didn't do it this way. I can't go farther this way or the back plate won't see, the adapter plate won't seal to the block. So I thought this was maybe a compromise where the water can, you know, get where it needs to go. Hopefully it will work, but that's the way she is. So that being said, I'm thinking we're about ready to put this on the block for good. Now this requires a little bit of creativity here, as 2 of the bolts have to be countersunk. And once again, our prototype was different than the production. I actually like that a lot better, but I don't think that's going to work with what I have. I don't know. That's a lot wider head is what I'm saying. I think before I do anything, I'm going to wire wheel this off clean, so it's the way it should be. You can tell the center got a little hot while I was doing that. But I'm going to clean this all up so that everything seals. Alright, now we need our number 2 Permatex here, because I don't trust that, I just don't trust. Maybe I should, but I don't. There's one. Now we're going to use these 2 as dowel pins for now. These 2 bolts are bolts I'm not going to be using, they were too long. But I need to hold everything where it needs to be whilst I tighten that the 2 that are recessed. And like I said before, if a guy had a CNC machine, I bet he could make this really spectacular by using math somehow. But we don't have that. We have my pathetic rusty brain. And so we take what we get, you know. As long as everything goes, that's all we're after. And it does in fact go, because I've had it mounted up before. Periodically check for still being able to get those bolts loose. I don't want them to get in a bind and then I have a bad problem, you know. It's still good. It's still good. All right, these will still turn in easy. So I think we got the first hurdle done. The second hurdle is going to be, well, for one, I think I'm gonna, I don't know why I'm doing that, but makes me feel better, slightly. Alright. Next we gotta put our pump together again and then put it on. Yeah, you shut off again and I didn't realize it. Usually it goes beepity beep. It didn't do it that time. I gotta swap out my 2 bolts that are too long for the 2 correctly sized ones. And then also there's a 2 bolts at the bottom that are original size. So we gotta put those in. I think I need to do this, even though this is the wrong one still. I need something to hold up while I get myself ready. I should have had it ready to go. I didn't. I just need to swap out my lock washers and flat washer. That's gonna go. Another thing I should have done. I should have taken that pulley off. But I didn't. Go here. Alright. I think every bolt is started. Just got to do final tightening. And I really need to take that pulley off. So that I can get it. Those bottom 2. Boys, I am loving the way this is turning out. I mean, I think it's gonna go. I don't know why it wouldn't. Just gotta take your time and figure things out, you know? Got to be tight, but we also got to not be overdone because the block is aluminum, I think. So at least the head is where we're going into. So we need to exercise caution. I like to use the little stubby ratchet because for me, then I can't get too much power and twist stuff off. Which I can do. Boys, I'm going to say that's on there. This is too long. And I don't know what I did with the... I don't know if I lost the one that was supposed to go there. But I think what I'm going to do... Well, I don't know if I really want to do that or not. I probably need to just go get more bolts. I could put 2 washers on. My problem is it bottoms out in the... See what I mean? Against that plate. that's there. Let's see, now I used the bolt that I was going to use for something else, so. All right, though. I mean, I think we are right where we need to be. In the neighborhood, friends. Don't want to lose my little bolts here. I should have put the fan on to show you. I mean, it will go, but the problem is now it'll be into this belt, so that's why I got to have me a spacer. But it does go round and round. Let's start over so you can see. I tell you, the stuff I do just for you. I think it probably would work, actually. Now that I look at it, I think it is going to work. Well, I'm going to call this a success, friends. I got that rickety belt around all three pieces here. So I'm thinking once I change this out to a V-pulley, get a good belt where this isn't going to wander because it's trying to flip. But I think we're going to have us something. The fan, I don't know. It's a little close to that belt. That's what bothers me. See, I'm afraid it's going to cut that at some point. So I may still proceed with a fan spacer. I could probably shim it up a little with what's here. There's enough nub sticking out of that pump. I could probably put a couple shims behind it and move it in just a shade. I might try that first before I go crazy, but having a spacer made would be a lot nicer. And then now it's just a matter of plumbing. I'd really like to run it a while before I decide what to do with this generator setup because of the governor, like I said before. And I'm thinking, the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking about just making it run off of something else, you know. Maybe I need to have it mounted in here and have a longer belt and pull against it. Maybe I need to have it, I thought about having it run off of this belt somehow, you know. But then I definitely would need a fan spacer so it doesn't get into that belt. But I, in theory, could have it mounted in like right here and then run this belt around it too, and I think it would probably work. So that's my choices right now, but I am extremely thrilled because it looks to me like this is actually going to work. All we have to do now is a matter of plumbing, and we're gonna have this made. I mean, the hard part's done. Finding a pump that would line up and fit in there, making that custom plate. Yeah, we got her licked, I think, friends. So we will wait till the rest of our factory parts get here and see if we can adapt that water elbow that is factory. If it fits here, then we're good to go. Otherwise, I gotta get the other one off that parts tractor. And then past that, we just need to get on the other side some hose. I think we're gonna just clean that up and go. I'll probably make a gasket for that, and then that lower water elbow bolt onto the pump, and we can plumb it up, and there we have it. So we are a lot farther than I thought we would be at this point. I mean, it's less than a week since we got this, and it's very close to being our driving usable tractor. I mean, as far as cooling and that. So I think that's where we're gonna leave this one. We got a lot more. We gotta wait on our other parts, and then we gotta get new belts, and then we got more homework to do. But so far, I'm pleased with the progress we have. And yeah, I suppose we could see if it'll run. I'm sure it's gonna throw that belt off right away, but because it's all twisted up, but we could try it. I mean, this wire went here. Look at that. water, friends. Our belt's already on its way out, but that is proof of concept that that belt will run in line because it didn't kick it off that smooth pulley. So we're good to go. I mean, and the little sucker runs good. We just got to get it where it'll cool good, and she's gonna be a cute little thing. Well, I know I pretty well wrapped this video up, but I got more stuff put on, and I think it's super cool, so I got to show it off. I got the original water tube mounted in there. I had to rob that elbow off of the original 1365 water pump, which was in a bucket full of parts, because I didn't use that one when I put it back together. The other one was full of holes. I don't even know what I did with it now, that I took off of that this water pump we used. And then I got my coil mounted up high like it was originally. So things are coming together. I got to figure out what I'm going to do for this water pump, or this fuel pump. I'm pretty sure I can get one that will work, but I think I'm missing, I think there was a rod that went through there. This thing was in there, and I don't think it's original. I think this is a plate somebody made, which maybe there's a reason, I don't know. But there's a little pin, I think, that goes in there and pushes to drive the pump. I'm gonna have to look in the parts book and see, you know, what I can find out on that situation. But it's coming along. As soon as Jason gets my gas tank done, then I'll be able to fab up all this stuff and start wiring and make sure that that's gonna go the way we want it. And I think we got us something. Like I said, I probably still will get a fan spacer made, because it needs to go forward about, I don't know, 2 inches or 1.5 inches probably. I think it ought to be in the shroud. So what I'll do is I'll take that other water pump to the machine shop so he can see what I need, and then he can make accordingly. But we're getting there, friends. We're getting there. Do you enjoy seeing a basic white man in his middle 30s struggling at life? If so, hit that thumbs up and leave us a comment, because all of that stuff is supposed to help us out and grow the channel, and we can keep making more stuff like what you just saw. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.